Hello everyone. Question is simulation. Monitor the logs of pod FOO and first extract log lines corresponding to error unable to access website. Second, write them to /opt/kulm00201/FOO. Now see the correct answer. Question is simulation. List all persistent volumes sorted by capacity, saving the full kubectl output to /opt/kucc00102/volume_list. Use kubectl's own functionality for sorting the output and do not manipulate if any further. Now see the correct answer. Question is simulation, ensuring a single instance of pod ng-inx is running on each node of the Kubernetes cluster, where ng-inx also represents the image name which has to be used. Do not override any trains currently in place. Use the daemon set to complete this task. Now see the answer. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is list all the pods sorted by created timestamp. Answer is kubectl1 get pods sort by is equals to .metadata.creation timestamp. Question is list all the pods showing name and namespace with a JSON path expression. Answer is kubectl get pods -0 is equals to JSO n path is equals to within bracket dot items within bracket $sign within bracket metadata dot name comma metadata dot namespace bracket closed. Question is simulation. Perform the following tasks. Add an init container to Hungry Bear which has been defined in spec file /opt/kucc00108/pod spec kucc00108.yaml. The init container should create an empty file named /workdir/calm.txt. If /workdir/calm.txt is not detected, the pod should exit. Once the spec file has been updated with the init container definition, the pod should be created A. Now see the answer. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is simulation. Create a pod named kucc8 with a single app container for each of the following images running inside. There may be between 1 and 4 images specified. nginx plus redis plus memcached. Now see the answer. Question is set configuration context kubectl config use context k8s. Schedule a pod as follows. Name nginx kusc00101. Image nginx. Node selector disk is equals to SSD. Now see the correct answer. Question is set configuration context kubectl config use context k8s. Create a deployment as follows. Name nginx app using container nginx with version 1.10.2 Alpine. The deployment should contain 3 replicas. Next, deploy the app with new version 1.13.0 Alpine by performing a rolling update and record that update. Finally, roll back that update. Now see the answer. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is set configuration context kubectl config use context k8s. Create and configure the service front end service so it's accessible through node port. Question is set configuration context kubectl config use context k8s. Create a pod as follows. Name Jenkins using image Jenkins in a new Kubernetes namespace. Now see the answer. Question is set configuration context kubectl config use context k8s. Create a deployment spec file that will launch seven replicas of Redis image with the label app underscore env underscore stage is equals to dev deployment name KUAL00201. Save a copy of this spec file to /opt/KUAL00201 /deploy underscore spec.yml or .json. When you are done, clean up or delete any K8s API objects. Now see the correct answer. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is set configuration context kubectl config use context k8s. Create a Kubernetes secret as follows. Name super secret. Credential Alice or username Bob. Create a pod named pod secrets via file using the Redis image which mounts a secret named super secret at /secrets. Create a second pod named pod secrets via env using the Redis image which exports credential as top secret. Now see the correct answer. Question is set configuration context kubectl config use context K8s check to see how many nodes are ready not including nodes tented no schedule and write the number to /opt/node num. Now see the correct answer. Question is set configuration context kubectl config use context K8 is create a deployment as follows. Name NGINX DNS exposed via a service NGINX DNS. Ensure that the service and pod are accessible via their respective DNS records. The containers within any pods running as part of this deployment should use the NGINX image. Next, use the utility nslookup to look up the DNS records of the service and pod and write the output to /opt/service.dns and /opt/pod.dns respectively. Ensure you use the BusyBox 1.28 image or earlier for any testing, and the latest release has an upstream bug which impacts TSD use of NS lookup. Now see the correct answer. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is set configuration context kubectl config use context wk8s. Configure the kubelet system D managed service on the node labeled with the name is equals to wk8s node -1 to launch a pod containing a single container of image nginx named my service automatically. Any spec file required should be placed in the /etc/kubernetes/manifest directory on the node. Hints: first, you can SSH to the failed node using $SSH wk8s node -1. Second, you can assume elevated privileges on the node with the following command $sudo -i. Now see the correct answer. Question is containers are run on which of these? Option A services, option B controllers, option C nodes, option D none of these. Correct answer is option C. Question is unique IP addresses are assigned to option A NAT is used extensively, so unique IP addresses are irrelevant. Option B pods, option C container hosts, option D containers. Correct answer is option B. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is communications between the API server and the kubelet on the cluster nodes are used for all but which of the following? Option A, providing the kubelet's port forwarding capability. Option B, fetching logs for pods. Option C, keep alive XML packets. Option D, attaching through kubectl to running pods. Correct answer is option C. Question is, if memory is running low on a running node, which of these keys will return true? Option A, OOM. Option B, warning. Option C, memory pressure. Option D, low memory. Correct answer is option C. Question is, which of these components mount volumes to containers? Option A, kube proxy. Option B, fluent D. Option C, kubelet. Option D, kube scheduler. Correct answer is option C. Question is, in a typical deployment, the Kubernetes master listens on what port number? Option A, 22. Option B, 3001. Option C, 80. Option D, 443. Correct answer is option D. Question is, which of these is a list of common Kubernetes primitives? Option A, service deployment replica set etcd. Option B, pod service persistent volume deployment. Option C, containers VMS hypervisors daemons. Option D, pod swarm namespace network. Correct answer is option B. Question is, for network policies to work in Kubernetes, which of these must be true? Option A, the CNI must have a policy sidebar. Option B, the CNI must support VXLANs. Option C, network policies are always enforced. Option D, the CNI must enforce the network policies. Correct answer is option D. Question is, to deploy Kubernetes using kubeadm, you will have to choose option A, the amount of RAM allocated to the kubelets. Option B, an appropriate CNI, that is container network interface. Option C, between container space and swap space. Option D, a passphrase for the certificates. Correct answer is option B. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is, what do many Kubernetes deployment tools handle automatically for you? Option A, kubectl installation on the master and nodes. Option B, custom namespaces. Option C, certificate creation. Option D, CNI deployment. Correct answer is option C. Question is, which of these an inexpensive and easy way to try out Kubernetes? Option A, manual install. Option B, Linux Foundation's CNI. Option C, turnkey. Option D, Minikube. Correct answer is option B. Question is, what is the default encryption used in Kubernetes? Option A, SSL. Option B, TLS. Option C, AES. Option D, HTTPS. Correct answer is option B. Question is, how is authorization handled in Kubernetes? Option A, a built-in role-based access control system. Option B, through a variety of third-party authorization plugins. Option C, LDAP/AD. Option D, through user.permission files mounted via secrets. Correct answer is option A. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is it possible to configure an application in a container from Kubernetes? If so, how is this accomplished? Option A, yes, through the use of environment variables. These can be set in the YAML file for the appropriate pod. Option B, yes, through the use of annotations. Annotations are key or value pairs used by the applications in the service. Option C, no, this is not possible at this time but is planned for a future release. Option D, yes, through the use of network policies. While originally intended to be the traffic cops of the network, developers often use them off-level to configure applications. Correct answer is option A. Question is which of these commands would scale up a deployment called soup from 3 pods to 5? Choose the correct answer. Option A, kubectl scale current replicas is equals to 3 replicas is equals to 5 ds slash soup. Option B, kubectl scale current replicas 3 replicas 5 ds soup. Option C, kubectl scale replicas is equals to soup. Option D, kubectl scale replicas is equals to 5 deployment slash soup. Correct answer is option D. Question is what are labels used for? Option A, selecting objects for a variety of purposes. Option B, setting environment variables in the container on a pod. Option C, human readable descriptions of objects. They have no other use. Option D, setting the image version number on a container in a pod. They have no other use. Correct answer is option A. Question is which of these is the best use case for a daemon set? Option A, a monitoring backend that only needs intermittent network access. Option B, a CNI container that needs to run on every node in order to function properly. Option C, a stateless wave head that will be load balanced among many nodes. Option D, a MariaDB slash Galera cluster that must auto-scale depending on CPU utilization. Correct answer is option B. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is I have a deployment called Healer running on my cluster. I look at the pods on a node and notice that there are two pods running there, Healer XXXXYYY and Healer XXXYYYZ. What will happen if I issue the command kubectl delete pod healer XXXYYYZ? Option A, nothing. The pod is protected by the deployment it runs in. Option B, the pod will be deleted but the deployment will immediately spin up another pod to replace it, possibly on another node. Option C, the pod will be deleted. If there is an ingress or service load balancer pointing to that pod, those requests will time out. Option D, kubectl will issue an error message. As this pod is in use, adding the force flag will allow you to complete this action. Correct answer is option B. Question is if a pod requests more resources than is available on any given node, what happens? Option A, the pod will move into a not ready status. Option B, the scheduler will return an error. Option C, the pod will not be scheduled until a node with the resources becomes available. Option D, the pod will get scheduled on the master node. Correct answer is option C. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is, why are annotations particularly important when using multiple or custom schedulers? Option A, because multiple schedulers are not allowed without annotations because of the security risk. Option B, because they are the only audit trail available for the scheduler. Option C, because they are how the scheduler is specified. Option D, because they can remind operators which scheduler was used to place or fail to place a pod. Correct answer is option D. Question is, how can a user specify which scheduler a pod should use? Option A, through the scheduler name tag in the spec. Option B, by adding a schedule is equals to custom label to the metadata. Option C, through the scheduler name tag in the spec. Option D, by adding a scheduler name is equals to *sign scheduler *sign annotation to the metadata. Correct answer is option A. Question is, think about the YAML for a network policy. If you had to create one, what is the pattern? Option A, preamble, ingress rules, hosts, egress rules, hosts. Option B, preamble, pod selector, hosts, ingress rules, egress rules. Option C, preamble, host, pod selector, ingress and egress rules. Option D, preamble, pod selector, ingress and egress rules. Correct answer is option D. Question is, Ingress is fairly new to the Kubernetes stack. What version number was the first one to include it? Option A 1.5, Option B 1.1, Option C 1.0, Option D 1.8. Correct answer is option B. Question is, for a user to be able to request an ingress resource, what must the cluster have? Option A, an ingress controller compatible with available and appropriate service providers like load balancers. Option B, a daemon set of Redis for storing configuration information. Option C, a CNI that supports ingress. Option D, an ISC-SI volume to store configuration information. Correct answer is option A. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is, which of the following is true about a volume? Option A, the storage class argument is used to specify a persistent volume claims requested access mode. Option B, volumes must be statically allocated by the administrator before a user can request one. Option C, volumes must reside on a cluster host. Option D, regardless of which access modes a volume supports, it can only support one at a time. Correct answer is option D. Question is, persistent volumes (PVs) are cluster storage resources. How do they access different kinds of physical storage from different vendors? Option A, Kubernetes only supports ephemeral storage. Option B, local node storage available as host file systems. Option C, plugins. Option D, NAS supporting the KNS protocols. Correct answer is option C. Question is, what is ephemeral storage? Option A, storage that can be requested through PVCs. Option B, magnetic spinning disk storage on a local host, it may not be SSD. Option C, local storage on the node used for containers, its contents are removed when the pod is deleted. Option D, scratch space in a safe cluster or other object store. Correct answer is option C. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is, what is a pod security policy? Option A, an API object representing the pod's allowed container images. Option B, a cluster level resource that controls security sensitive aspects of the pod specification. Option C, a way to control which pods can communicate with other pods and the network ports on which communication is permitted. Option D, a way to control whether or not the pod can be created by certain roles. Correct answer is option B. Question is, security context settings for a pod include all of the following except choose the correct answer. Option A, app armor. Option B, privileged or unprivileged. Option C, secure image. Option D, allow privilege escalation. Correct answer is option C. Question is, which of these types of calls should be authenticated and authorized? Option A, API calls from nodes to the master. Option B, external service calls from third-party software and devices. Option C, API calls from users. Option D, all of these. Correct answer is option D. Question is, when troubleshooting a particular pod, which of these commands is likely to give you the most detailed information? Option A, kubectl get pods. Option B, kubectl describe pod. Option C, kubeadm describe. Option D, kubectl get deployed. Correct answer is option B. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is, how can you run the command /user/bin/id inside of the pod called Superman? Option A, kubectl exec superman/user/bin/id. Option B, kubectl run superman/user/bin/id. Option C, kubectl exec-it superman/user/bin/id. Option D, kubectl exec-it superman/bin/bash to get a shell, then execute the command. There is no way to do it in a single command. Correct answer is option A. Question is, kubectl logs returns what? Option A, /var/log/messages from the target container and pod. Option B, stdout and stderr from the target container and pod. Option C, any log specified from the target container and pod. Option D, /var/log/syslog from the target container and pod. Correct answer is option B. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe.